Well, the rain hasn't stopped. Still minor flooding at home. And I'm driving into the city on a different route, just for something different to do. Going along Prosser Forest Road. And how strange the world is, huh? Have you noticed? I was listening this morning to ABC Radio, and they were telling me that there were 50 COVID deaths in New South Wales over the last week and 10,000 cases. Can you remember when they were locking us down for 1 or 2 cases? How things have changed. And one thing I want to bring up is the death rate, the Australian death rate. It's up around about 20%. It fluctuates a little bit over, a little bit under. Sort of between 15 and 22 or something like that. And this has been going on since the end of 2021. I first heard a doctor ring in doing his COVID duty, telling about, that thing. And then at the end of the interview, he quickly tacked on, look, there's a 10% increase in the Australian death rate. This is alarming. Why is no one talking about it? They cut him off. And then fairly recently, I heard another doctor ring in ABC Radio saying how August has had the largest death rate ever in Australia. And why is no one Why is no one talking about it is what he wanted to say. So it's a media no-go area. Why don't they want to bring it up? They were going crazy bananas over a handful of deaths in 2020 and 2021 from the bloody Kung flu. Yet in that time, 2019 and 2020, the Australian death rate went down just a little. Like you wouldn't notice it. If it had gone up by the same amount, you wouldn't have noticed it. It was less than 1%. But now all of a sudden it's soaring. And it's not just Australia. It's all over the Western world. England has a similar 20% increase in their death rate. See, in Australia it's equivalent to 1,000 deaths a week, an extra 1,000 deaths a week. From something around 3,000 to around 4,000. So, why isn't it being talked about? Why isn't it being talked about in England with their increase in their death rate? Or in America, the increase in their death rate is around 20% too. And then you have countries like Portugal where it's up like 38% or more. So, all over the Western world, somewhere between 20 and 40% increase in the death rate, and the media are silent. Why would this be? This is how I wake the normies up. I say, get on your Google, type in Australian death rate 2022, and they all of a sudden gasp. What? And then they say, oh no, it's COVID. And I say, no, have a better look. There's a wiggly line that is the average. Just above it is a skinny wiggly line that is plus COVID. And then way above that is the actual death rate. And the normies, they sort of go into that meltdown, If it was a meme, you'd have that, the something's wrong with your internet sound. So, well, anyway, this is what I suggest to all of my 25 subscribers since I was lost my previous channel. So all 25 of you, go tell a normie. Go find a normie and say, why don't you Google the Australian death rate? Or if you're in the UK, ask them to Google the excess deaths. Or America. Or wherever you are. Talk to your normies. Talk to your brother, your cousin, your sister, whoever's in your family that's a normie. Tell them to Google the death rate. And why is no one talking about it? That's enough. Why are they not talking about it? And this will start them thinking. You can push it a little further and say, look, the coincidence of the increase in this death rate coincides with something else, what could that be? And of course the timeline will show them exactly what that was. And then they're going to say something, oh my God, I've had 4!